Hey everyone, so today's video is going to be on these bankers, which is part of the Void Tower clearing. You need to unlock certain levels in Void Tower hard to eventually lock all levels here. As you see, I haven't beat floor 90 or floor 100 yet to unlock the last two stages, but this is going to allow me, to kind of talk about these bankers anyway. I've had a couple requests for me to basically make a video and have people help clear these. So that's what we're going to do today. So the things that you need to know about these bankers is there's three different types of elements. You have grass, you have water, and then you have fire. In all honesty, the only one that is a little difficult is the fire one, because it has this mechanic where once he's dead, he gets this death immunity similar to like Dark Nick, where he has 12 stacks and you have to break the 12 stacks. The thing is we don't really use this mechanic. We find ways around it. So there's two ways around it. The first way is using heroes that ignore death immunity, which are a couple of heroes. So you have Shark Solandre. So Shark Solandre, which is an LD, a lot of people won't have him. But on his ultimate says ignores all of the target's positive effects. That includes death immunity. So if you get this boss down to 0 health and he puts up the death immunity, you can then go in with Shark Solandre, use his ultimate, and kill him and ignore all of those stacks. So he is the LD option. There are there's one non-LD option in the legendary spot that I know of. There might be one or two more that I can't think of at the time, but Thor is the one that I'm thinking of. He has a very similar ultimate to Shark Solandre, where it says ignore all positive effects. And then they actually buffed him where his Lunar Instinct also ignores all positive effects. So that's kind of cool. So similar thing as, Shark Solandre, you just use Thor to do the final blow. On his ultimate, you got to save that though. The nice thing is he's also positive affinity. So he's much tankier if you can't kill the boss like in one shot, which is what most of my stuff is going to be showing you here today. Now, if you don't have Thor, your last option is an epic, and that is Borden. So Borden also does similar things. He says right here, this ability ignores the target's invincible or death immunity. So you have three different options there. One's an LD and a legendary, so most people don't have him, but Thor and Borden are definitely options. Okay, that's really the only difficult boss here. But we are going to talk about the other mechanics if you guys aren't able to one-shot, okay? One main thing that you want to pay attention to with these bankers, they all have the same thing. Bonus turns. You do not want to bring heroes that have bonus turns. So, Evelyn First on, even the twins. Although I'm sure the twins are so busted that you can, they're like so good that you just ignore this, but I don't have them, so I don't know. But yeah, so you want to avoid people like Evelyn First on. You want to avoid people like Shane, Aubrey, Yolanda, people like that, unless you have their skills off. So Shane is still viable because he just produces so much damage out of his trait, but you'll have to turn his skills off. Or if you want to just manual, just make sure that you're not using his second ability to grant someone an extra turn, because they will counterattack with the ultimate ability, and that is no bueno. So all of them have that. So the green one has that, the blue one has that, and the red one. Now I will say that with the introduction of Huntress Freya, this might not be as much of a problem, just because whenever people counterattack, she basically just poo-poos all over it, puts up the invincible and things like that. So the other thing that we're going to talk about, the other way around this, what is it? Death immunity stacks on the fire one. You can use someone that has no positive effects as well. The best one for people to use is definitely going to be Badmar. He's going to be keeping your team healthy, and he also puts defense down if you're looking for somebody to help with damage. But on his ultimate, he puts up no positive effects. So this gets completely around the death immunity as well. So that's another option. But there are a couple other heroes in the game that actually have death immunity, no positive effects, which you can go to the index and always search that. So you have, heroes like Garnet, Aubrey, Hulins, which is a free-to-play option, which is pretty nice. Freya, although she's negative affinity. Girnal, Andre, all of these heroes are pretty nice to put up the no positive effects to make sure that you just get around that mechanic. All right, so we're going to go through here and we're just going to clear these guys individually. So here we have the fire guy. We're going to bring our Badmar. We'll put up the no positive effects, and then we'll just bring in Nero and one-shot him. So put up the no positive effects. Badmar actually... Oh... Badmar did too much damage. We'll go back out and just retry this so I can show you that this actually works. But he crit. He wasn't supposed to crit. Whoops. Wow, it takes me all the way out? That's kind of annoying. Okay, back in. I should bring the other contingency if he ends up critting again. Okay, he didn't crit. So there's the no positive effects. And as you see, Nero just finishes him off, and he never gets the death immunity. You still have to worry about the other heroes, though. As you see, if you kill the boss, the other minions are still there. So keep that in mind. So that's the fire boss, bringing something like that. No positive effects, or the death immunity, ignore positive effects that I just mentioned. The next one, so this is water. The water boss really, truly doesn't have anything that you need to worry about. Other than if you can't one-shot, right? Because I'm going to show some one-shot teams. He does put up this silence. So one of the things that you can do is you can bring in heroes like Jocasta. Jocasta is able to put up immunity on somebody. So you can do that to one of your damage dealers. She also has Invincible. So that's pretty beneficial whenever he does like an AoE damage. As you saw here, he has like 100% crit rate and then deals damage to your team. And if he crits, it's like massive damage. So heroes like Jocasta are pretty good in this instance. Yolanda is pretty good as well. She's kind of an underrated hero in this area. If you guys are struggling here, where is she? She's in Free Cities, yeah. So her shield actually gives you 100% crit resistance. So this is pretty nice. She's also positive affinity, but you do have to manual with her because you don't want to grant that bonus turn, like I said. So that could be an issue. Yeah, so let's just jump back in there. And I'm going to show you, since you have 5 team members here, Guan Yu is like your best friend. This guy, he crushes blue and he crushes green, okay? Fire, you can still bring him, but he's going to need like a lot of precision. But your A team... Your main A team is going to be something along the lines of, Florence, because she doesn't grant bonus turns. She just grants bonus attacks. So this is still really nice. You can definitely bring heroes like Shane. You just need to turn his skills off because his trait is going to really increase your damage. Muriel is another really great option here. So where's Muriel? Down here. She gives bonus attacks based on positive effects. So that's really nice. Who else? Hyun Woo. Hyun Woo brings a lot of damage whenever it comes to green. Especially if he's getting, his bonus attacks on the boss. He's basically going to melt a lot of the boss's health away. And then who else can you bring? You can bring, another joint attacker. Let's say someone like Morgan. You can bring someone like Marion Shadowblood. You can bring in somebody like Freya, who does joint attacks as well. She also puts defense down 2 up. This is the easiest route to do this, is just a one-shot team with splash damage, so she can go in, put up defense down 2, and then bring in your highest damage character. And if you have Hyun Woo, you're just gonna, like I said, just melt melt people away. And he works in green and blue. So we'll get up to the higher stages. Some of the mechanics in green deal with shields. So if you have a shield, you actually do less damage, or he does more damage to people that don't have shields. Oh yeah, he launches this bonus attack. So again, same thing. You can use Yolanda, who brings really nice shields. Another thing that you can do is you can bring in a character that has healing and put them in the Faith set. So right now I have Clarence on the Salvation set, but I also have an option for her in Faith right here. So this Faith set gives a shield based on your healing. So this is really good to avoid that bonus attack from the boss. So you can do that. You can also slap a Faith set on Mathasia, which is really older character. She also has an AoE heal on her ultimate ability. So this will put up a nice shield. Because the green affinity boss is the one who cares about shield, that means heroes like Brand, who just give you a shield at the beginning of the turn, are going to be really good because his shield is just very strong. So Brand is a nice option here as well if you can't do these one-shot teams. So maybe once we get higher up on these bosses, we'll bring in some lower end teams where you're not able to one-shot. When it comes to the green boss, obviously, your Rosalies, your Gavins, your Flaming Milas, all of these heroes are going to be fantastic against this boss. You're just trying to kill him. He doesn't have any of those death immunity things or anything like that. So if you can one-shot him, you can one-shot him. Another route, if you don't have enough damage, you can bring in somebody like Zitlin and then have the curse proc to finish him off. But you are going to have to bring in Brand, to bring shields and things like that, or the boss is going to kill you before the curse can actually go off. So maybe we'll show that on the higher stages. We'll bring like unbooked characters or something like that. But for now, we'll just bring in, our Rosalie, we'll bring in Balberith, and we'll just cruise through these and, again, get to those higher stages. So I think what we'll do, I will fast forward this, and we'll get to the last 3 stages that were available to me here in Void Tower, and we'll talk about some teams then. So, I'm going to fast forward this, and we'll be right back. See you in a second. Okay, so we're on the last three stages here. The first one is this fire one. So, in regards to the no positive effects, like I said, Badmar's probably the best one. Um, Other than that, what other mechanics do we have to look out for? No bonus turns, as we mentioned. At the end of the round, it deals true damage to all enemies and applies Ignite. Okay, can't be resisted. So, another way to deal with this is, someone like Atara who does cleanses. Who else does cleanses? You have people like Hazel. Hazel also does a type of cleanse, I think, to a single target. So this is restores health. This is the cleanse, heals a team member, removes all negative effects, so you can remove the ignite there. So that's kind of nice. Who also does cleanses? Let's see here. Who cleanses? Remove. No, negative effect. Negative effect duration removed. Control effect removed. Negative effect removed. So here, you can use someone like Foodie. Foodie does heals, removes a negative effect. One negative effect on everybody. So Foodie's really fantastic here. You can bring someone like Aubrey for the AoE immunity, which is pretty nice. Who else? Brand cleanses the ignite as well. So you got some options, right? So for this team, that's what we'll do. We will bring... So for the fire, we will bring Badmar. We'll bring someone like Atara. We'll bring somebody like Brand. We're just going chunky. And then we'll bring in, another blue character. We could bring in Naya. Naya probably won't do too much damage. But let's see if this works. So we're bringing in, the no positive effect removal, so we don't have to deal with the shield. We might save this for the second round, though, because I don't know if we're going to do enough damage. So let's save the no positive effects removal for that second turn. We're not bringing in like a Flarence or anything like that. We're trying to do this the old-fashioned way. So we'll put up a defense down 2. Let's see how much damage our Nero does. Okay, pretty good. Not too shabby. Put up attack down 2. Here we'll just do some damage to the minions. Let's see if we can stun this guy. We didn't. We'll just take care of this boss. Okay. Counterattack. So here's that AoE damage, right? So now we have the ignites up. But I'm pretty sure we can do enough damage to this boss this time where we'll put up the no positive effects. And then Nero might be able to kill him. Close. Put up more defense and attack, and hopefully the Naya can kill. Nice. Okay, so this is a team that didn't have the Shane or Flarences, and you just bring in no positive effects from the Badmar. Like I said, I could have also used Thor there. I could have just got him down to the end of his life, and then the death immunity, I could have brought in Thor or SSA or Borden and finished him off. Now with this water boss, so the water boss again is just the ultimate abilities. You can't use your bonus turns. It also brings silence, so this is another option where you can bring somebody like Atara to remove that. You can bring Badmar as well because he does an AoE, so if you bring Badmar you can heal back up. We can bring Jocasta. You can bring... Man, there's a bunch of different heroes that you can bring. Now, obviously, as I mentioned, if you have Guan Yu and Flarence, this is just like easy mode. You go in there and you bring Guan Yu, you bring Flarence, and you bring anybody behind Flarence, and they're just going to do a bunch of bonus attacks off of Flarence's ultimate, and Guan Yu's going to kill this guy before he even gets a turn, right? So we won't bring him this time. What we'll do is we'll bring in, let's bring in a Hyun Woo. We'll bring in Barclay. So Barclay's going to bring in Hyun Woo for additional attacks as well. As for surviving, maybe we bring in a hero like Jocasta. So you can bring in Jocasta, and then who else? We'll bring in Atara to do the cleansing. So we'll do a team like this. Maybe we don't bring in Flarence. Maybe we we'll bring in Muriel for additional bonus attacks. Let's do that. And we have a captain skill somewhere. Does Barclay work here? No. Muriel. Let's do Muriel. So don't have to worry about death immunity or anything like that. The only thing is the silence, and he does big damage on his AoE. So this is where the invincible from the Jocasta is really nice. Also here, one of the benefits is she's going to put up multiple positive effects on your heroes. So you're going to be able to get bonus attacks from the Hyun Woo as well. So the joint attack came from the resonance set that she is in. You don't need to have that. So there's a bonus attack, which is nice. We'll do just our basic ability with Hyun Woo. This is really nice damage. And then here, you're going to get Barclay to launch the bonus attack from the Hyun Woo. He'll do his bonus attack. Oh, why didn't he do his ultimate? I misread that. Oh, 4 more stacks of bleeding. He didn't have 4 more stacks. I thought he just brought him in. Anyway, so there's the silence, right? But Atara is going to cleanse this off of all of our members. So there we go. If we wanted to use our ultimate of the Hyun Woo, we could here, but we don't need to because he's just going to use his ultimate. So if you didn't have Hyun Woo here, again, you can use somebody like Guan Yu, which was the free seasonal unit, quote-unquote free. Who else can you use as a nice damage dealer against blue? Bulin's an option. You can use Baron. You can use Antinua. All of those heroes would have been good. You do have to worry about Antinua's ultimate, though. You just need to use her basic twice. So that's another option. Okay, now finishing this off with green. Green has a lot of great options now, which is cool. Like I said, you have Gavin, you have Flaming Mila, you have Bella. A lot of things there. This one, if you can't one-shot this boss, this one is probably the most difficult, I think, because the shield mechanic in the bonus turn actually does a pretty decent amount of damage. So you really want to bring in some shield heroes here, which is where Brand definitely comes in handy. So he'll put up a nice big shield for us. We'll bring in Flaming Mila because she is unbooked, so we want to showcase her. Again, we can bring in the Flarence for the bonus attacks. We can bring in a Rosalie here as well. Let's bring in a Zitlin. And who else we want to bring? Let's just bring in some additional sustain with Atara. Let's see if we can get this to work. So here, we have our Zitlin going first. So if we don't have enough damage, maybe the curse ends up being able to get us to the finish line here. So we'll try and do good damage with our Rosalie. We'll put up the attack down so he does less damage on our team here, and hopefully keep the shield up. Okay, so he had shield here. Flaming Mila does her counterattack. Here she'll use her ultimate. Nice. Yeah, so even this is where you need the shield up, and it was actually down here, so he's going to do a bonus attack. Oh no, he already passed that bonus attack ability. Where was it? Right here. Damages all enemies. At the end of the round. Not this one. Oh. Oh, gotcha. Okay. Yeah, so he did the 1 damage to Brand, but Brand had a shield. So anyway, yeah. So this one's basically in the bag. So these bosses, I just don't think are that hard anymore. I know my characters are strong, but the Flaming Mala did most of the damage. These heroes are unbooked. If you wanted to bring in an additional support, you could bring in Celestial Cane. You can bring in Sacred Windstrex, Foodie. You could bring in, oh, man, just like any support here, and you'd be fine. So I really do think that a lot of these bosses, if you understand the mechanics, you're going to get through them really easily. So anyway, yeah, this is a bit of a longer video, but I just want to talk about the mechanics and let you know that, there's a couple different ways to beat these bosses. So I hope this helped. I hope it was informative, and good luck on beating these bankers because they give a lot of really good rewards. Anyway, that's all I got. I'll catch you on the next one. See ya.